So yeah, growing up, these producers influenced me the most. First off, I'd have to say DJ Spinner, because he's nice with like the boom bap stuff, and he added like an electronic synthesizer type element to a lot of his beats, which a lot of producers around that time, I don't think they were really doing that. And then also like his diversity. He doesn't just do hip hop. Like he'll do a hip hop record, then he'll do a house record, then he'll do like some other kind of record, you know, that. And then also one of my biggest influences would have to be Kashif, rest in peace. He just passed last year. Because it's like, you know, I don't just do hip hop. I also do like a lot of like electro, boogie, funk kind of stuff. And he's definitely one of the pioneers in regards to that, like bringing synthesis and drum machines into modern R&B and making it real funky. And especially like his he would play his bass lines on the Mini Moog, and his Mini Moog bass lines are just ridiculous. Large Professor, Extra P, man, not only is he a dope producer, but to me, he's one of the greatest MCs ever, like, to touch the mic. I mean, his wordplay, and he's just like mad witty with it. It's just, I don't understand why. I don't understand why people don't, you know, hold him in higher regard than they do. He's definitely one of the greats, man. I really like Large Professor's choice of samples, you know, his ear for certain sounds, and his meticulous programming on the SP1200. You know, back then, back in the Breaking Adams days, even, you know, after he went solo, like the LP is still one of the greatest hip hop records ever to not be released formally. You know, because it was supposed to come out in like '96, but it didn't come out until like years later. I think a memorable moment for me was meeting Idris Muhammad. I went to a show with my dad, and it was him and James Moody. They were both playing, and I got to meet Idris Muhammad, and he actually signed my copy of Black Rhythm Revolution. It was an inspiring moment. I remember specifically Idris Muhammad saying, "Take care of yourself, young brother." You know, because I think at the time he was starting to fall ill, so he just made sure he just said, "Take care of yourself." My thing on Dre is he was more like this. He spearheaded the whole G-Funk movement, I think, which was cool, but I kind of like the old school guys, where it's just like, it's not necessarily like straight up G-Funk, where it's just funk, you know. Pete Rock what I think about Pete Rock is a legend. He's one of the greatest ever to do it. What don't I love about Pete Rock? Man, his drums, his oh man, the way he freaks samples, the way he chops stuff up. I'll never forget hearing the remix he did for Gang Starr's Militia. Man. And I found out what the sample was, and I listened to it. I said, I mean, it really caught me by surprise, because I was just listening to the record, and the part came up, and I was just like, I immediately called like 2 or 3 of my friends, like, "Yo, did y'all?" Nobody knew. J Dilla, he was otherworldly. He's definitely from some other planet or something, man. Because I mean, it's like he's been gone for 11 years now, and people are still completely biting his whole style. I mean, it's so crazy. I mean, just the mark that man left on not even just hip hop, but just music in general. I mean, he's definitely one of the greatest of all time, for sure. One thing that inspires me about Dilla is his work ethic. He tirelessly every day, just for hours on end, would just make beats. I mean, there's still lots of Dilla beats that I haven't heard yet, and he's been gone for 11 years. So that should tell you something about that man's work ethic. Work ethic is very important, because it's like, if you don't get it done, you won't have anything to show for what it is you do. It's like, if you make music, or if your work ethic is lacking, no one's really going to take notice to what it is you do, and how good, regardless of how good you are at what you do, they won't know if your work ethic isn't on point. 3 underrated producers to me would be Kenny Keys, tall black guy, and a young kid out of LA named Kazal Organism. I like Kenny Keys because his overall sound, and just his you hear a Kenny Keys beat, and it's like, oh, you gotta adjust your neck. It's like your neck. He got them neck breakers. And tall black guy too. I feel like they both have kind of a similar vibe. And Kazal, he's young. He's a young dude. I don't even know if he's 21 yet. And he's crazy with the beats. I've heard a couple of remixes he did, and it was just really blew my mind and almost sent me back to the lab. I was like, oh wait, so this is what we're doing. So yeah, I define soul as it's a feeling. It's nothing. It's not a tangible thing that you can teach to somebody. It's just an innate sensibility. I define funk as just raw, hardcore energy, and when I think of things like the P-Funk guys, like George Clinton, like their early '80s stuff, General Kane, like that. I like that hardcore funk. Lots of like mood bass synth lines and crazy scroachy lead lines, like the late Bernie Worrell, rest in peace.